Hello and welcome to the second part of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and let's look back at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I'm aware that in the last part I forgot to add Philadelphia when I said, the intro part. The only reason I left it in was because I uploaded it and it was on YouTube when I realised. I didn't think people would mind too much that I said it that way. That's the reason I didn't correct it. And we've got a little bit of news for you on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD. It's good and bad news, but unfortunately to tell you the good news, I'll tell you the good news first because it will make sense. So the bad news will cancel out the good news for some people. Basically on the Facebook page, they said that in a couple of days they'll have an exact date. Sorry for taking so long with it, but something to do with they called him Tony Hawk the Birdman because that's obviously his nickname. That things are out of his control sometimes. So it's pretty much saying that they're going to have an exact release date. In the comments, it said while people were speculating the date was July 11th, and they come out and said it's not. We can confirm it's not July 11th. And then this is the bad news here. I'm going to say they said that it's going to come out on PlayStation, Xbox Live first, and then followed a few weeks later it'll be on PSN. So it pretty much confirmed what the speculation was because it was part of the Summer of Arcade promotion that Xbox Live would get it first. Which I own both, but I'm sort of more. I don't know why, but I just prefer PlayStation more. I think it's just because I've grown up with it. So I'm probably going to get it. Well, I probably will get it on PlayStation. Not because I think it's just that I've always played the Tony Hawk games on PlayStation, and I know I'm on there more. So it just makes more sense for me from that standard thing. I mean, if they do a trial on Xbox Live, I will have a look at it out of interest. Well, it means I get to play it earlier, you know what I mean. But I mean, it is gutting news, really. As I said, it doesn't benefit gamers at all. These exclusive deals. I think they're absolutely ridiculous that it's done this way because we never had this in the PlayStation 1 and 2 eras. I call them that because that's the consoles I own during. Well, actually, I did have a GameCube and I did have the original Xbox. I bought it really cheap when Xbox 360 came out. So I just wanted to see what they were like, and I had the full set maybe. I started it with PlayStation 2, so maybe during the PlayStation 2 and Xbox and GameCube. And the PlayStation 1 era, I don't really know. I think it was just Dreamcast before I had it, didn't it? I'm not sure on that actually. I nearly actually did own a Dreamcast. When I had my PlayStation 1 broke, I bought a PlayStation anywhere. I was actually going to go to Dreamcast because I always liked Sega to start with, but in the end I didn't manage to get a PlayStation 1, so I never got a chance. But during those eras, there was no such thing as exclusive deals. I mean, obviously there were, but this game's on this console. If you wanted those games, that's why you chose that console. This is the reason why a lot of people choose consoles still. But there was no such thing as DLC then. But I think overall they were better times to be a gamer. They definitely were. I mean, that's probably one of my favourite eras: the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube era. I'm not saying that the PlayStation 1 era, that was a good era as well. I mean, Sega Mega Drive was a great era too, but I think PlayStation 2 was my favourite. And to get back to topic, sorry. It's not. It is. There's a lot of people that are really annoyed by that because they waited to get their hands on the game. So I'm told that they're going to wait a few weeks because they don't have a certain console. It's not really fair on them. I mean, personally, if it was me, I wouldn't do that because I'd be more concerned that I'd upset the fans. But if they get it, it gets them a bit of extra revenue, and it's not like it's going to affect people too much. So I think they think. I mean, whether or not it will. I mean, from what I've sort of seen, I haven't seen, but I haven't heard of anything like that damaging sales. So I mean, there's nothing we really can do about it. I don't think these exclusives. I think really the only thing you can sort of do about it is just don't sort of buy the game and sort of say, you know, I'm not going to buy your product if you're going to do this, I think, really. But I don't think there's enough people to sort of make that count. Can I get an aerial trick on the end of this? That was, yeah, that's great. I love doing that. It really does build the score up. Sort of builds up a lot of score, really, because you know, you mix in vert and street. I think that in this game that's the only way to really do it, because there's no reverts or Tony Hawk 3. That actually reminds me, I think in one of the interviews I've seen with Tony Hawk, they asked him if there would be reverts in the game, and as reverts were only in Tony Hawk 3, he said that not at the moment, but I think they were going to either put it in or put it in as like a DLC type thing. If that is the case, my only question with that would be, if there's leaderboards, it would seem very unfair to make something DLC only, so hopefully it will be a free update type thing, because it just, to me, that wouldn't seem very fair. I mean, I don't have a clue how much an impact a revert would make, but surely there would be some impact. I mean, I think reverts are not high scoring, but the fact that you can mix them to keep a combo going is the problem. I mean, I think that's a huge problem with some DLC today. You know, there's, you know, things, weapons that give people an advantage. And I just don't think that's a fair thing. Hopefully I can get it in there for the next couple of runs. I think when I was sort of younger I used to stick to doing sort of street tricks, grinding, really. I used to use that telephone pole thing, well, wire I think it is, where I just got the money. I used to use that, try and use that. I used to use the pavements, but the problem with the pavements is you get kicked off halfway if you don't time your jumps right. I was actually seriously thinking about putting the 900 on Spider-Man, but then I thought, well, that's a bit... I mean, it's not cheating, obviously, because it's in the game, but I'd rather have done it in a fairer way, to be honest. So that's the reason why I haven't done something like that at the moment. I was actually just going to do it to get it done quicker, but then I thought, well, just keep trying and, you know, maybe you'll succeed. Hopefully that'll be the case. I think my problem here is really just I keep them too much of the spinning. But I mean, Tony Hawk 1, I'm just going to call it 1, it's easier to say. Oh, that was annoying. I don't know what, I didn't spin the board there, it just spun itself. So I think it's the backflip, the Spidey flip, it sort of sets you up to do that. Maybe. Try it again. Oh, I didn't do it that time. Maybe I did hit something, then I don't know. I just didn't feel like I did. I don't think we're going to have enough time to do this one. Don't know, unless we can get a good combo going now, I just don't see anything happening. No, we're only just hitting, you know, on that, was that 150,000? Well, it's gone up since then, but no, that wasn't a good run. I do apologise for some of the lagginess. If I'm not sure if you're seeing it. It's a new software I'm using. It just looks like it's a bit laggy, but I could be wrong. And this is one I sort of used before on the SSX look back. So they were without commentary. That was when I was wasn't used to, never tried that before. I was a bit nervous. So I thought I'd just try it without commentary, and I'll do like a sort of text thing in the bottom. But I thought I sort of just got the courage to do it. I would say it's not about courage. I think, you know, people are very nervous what people are going to say to them, and I'm kind of one of those people. But now I sort of got the grasp of it, got more confident with it. But yeah, I used that software in there, and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't brilliant. Basically, I bought one of those. Well, I tried to buy a capture card, but the one I got sent was one of those, you know, those. I don't really want to single anybody out. I think it's like, you know, like you get them rip-off ones. from certain places like Hong Kong. It was one of them, and it just you got picture, but you couldn't record sound, and there was no audio. So I sent it back, but they said just keep on to it because the product got took off where the website I got it from. So I got to keep the free software that come with it. It's called ULED. I've heard it's quite a good thing, but for me it just keeps freezing. So, but hopefully I'll get Windows Movie Maker working. I've cleaned a lot of the files up today, videos that I've like more my Resident Evil 2 stuff and that. I've cleared it all out. So hopefully we've got it working. Hoping this is the run where we do it now, because it's taking quite a long time. I'm just going to spam these tricks. I think it's the way to really do it. And if you do want to comment on your thoughts on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD being a time exclusive, do feel free. I would just ask, don't turn it into a a console war. I mean, it's easy, it's so easy to get into it. It's really kind of annoying that you can't sort of just talk about it without it sort of turning into that. I think there's some people out there very open-minded and sort of, if you take the time to explain it, they'll sort of be fair with you and that kind of thing. I think the problem with consoles is when we buy into them, it's a product we buy, and I think it's sort of something. It says something about what we like, and I think when someone attacks it, it feels like it's an attack on us. So if like someone says, "Oh, your console's crap," it feels like it's a personal attack to you, and I think that's why, you get into that, really. And that's all the money. That's that then, really. I do just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this and being very patient with me while I got that done. I've hoped you enjoyed this part, and hopefully you will join me for the next part, which will be the ball ring. I'm not sure I'm going to play that one out yet because of credits. I think you get it for getting the cache icons first and the thing. So I'm just going to see how that works out. But yeah, that's all really I've got to say for this part. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. It is appreciated.